Hey, this is attorney Elizabeth Potts-Weinstein. Today we're going to go over 5 different payroll companies to give you some recommendations of which ones may be appropriate for your small business and what to really look for when you're selecting your first payroll provider. Now, specifically, I'm dealing with small businesses here. I'm talking about tiny businesses. So you're hiring your first employee, which could be yourself if you have an S Corp, or you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 employees. That's what we're talking about, really small businesses. Because the solutions that exist for the really small business is a lot of times different than if you have, hundreds of employees. So there's different services and they're priced differently when you just have a few employees. So let's talk a little bit about what is a payroll company. The idea is that running payroll is complicated. It has a lot of different things you have to file with like every level of government there is, and you have to file this thing quarterly and this thing every week when you do payroll, or this thing once a year, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's just so much. It is incredibly easy to mess up. I don't think anybody should be doing payroll 100% themselves. It makes no sense. It is like back when I used to do payroll for myself, I messed it up many times, and I'm a lawyer. So the fees are low enough that I think you would always want to pay someone to do it. It used to be that you really could only go with some of the big companies, and I am going to look at some of the big companies that exist. But now there are a lot of other payroll providers that are kind of more, new internet kind of companies. And by the way, they've been around for many, many years, but new compared to, the ones that have been around for decades. And they sometimes are priced better and have better online systems for the really small business. So let's look at 5 of these different ones. And today we're going to be looking at Gusto, ADP, SurePayroll, which is from Paychex, which is one of the big guys, OnPay, and Wave Payroll. I selected these 5 really because there's some of the big ones that come up if you do a Google search looking for them. Gusto is the one that I currently use and have used for years, but there are some other solutions that are available that may be lower cost but have enough of the services that you need. So let's go ahead and start by looking at Gusto. And one of the things too, we want to look at what's appropriate for the really small business. So looking at 1 to 5 employees. Okay, so Gusto has a cookie obviously saying that I have an account, but let's just assume that I don't have an account and go into let's look at why Gusto. So they do all kinds of different things. Like one of the things about a lot of these systems is they will run payroll, but they'll also have upsells that you can do. Oh, you can also get insurance. You can also do HR things, et cetera, et cetera. And those of course cost more money. Some things are like insurance where when I used Gusto, they helped me get workers' comp. I think it was workers' comp insurance. Like they have a referral internally in the system through an insurance agent or something that sets that up. So it just made it easier logistically for me to do it. And I'm assuming they get some kind of cut, which was fine, whatever. So let's look at their pricing. Gusto has actually increased their pricing recently. And so it's different than it used to be. So they have Simple plus Premium. They have many different levels. So Simple is $40 a month plus $6 a person. This is typically how it's priced, is that there'll be a monthly fee just for them. They're doing a lot of paperwork every month if you have 1 employee or 50 employees. So they charge a set monthly fee and then it's a per person. This is a kind of a big deal if you're just one person. Like it's kind of on a per person basis, that $40 is a lot more than if you have 5 employees, you know what I'm saying? So let's look at the Simple for $40 a month plus $6 a person. They do all the W-2s, 1099s. They provide support, and I found them to provide perfectly fine support for me. They do the basic onboarding stuff. They will broker health insurance administration. So like you can get health insurance set up through their systems, and a bunch of other kind of basic, payroll and all those things. Now there's some things that you might need that you'd actually have to pay plus for that I used to get as included in my plan. And I actually think most people need, like PTO management and policies, this kind of stuff that a lot of businesses are going to need, but that doubles the amount you're paying. Now they include a bunch of things that maybe you don't need. Maybe you don't need performance reviews and you don't need time tracking and all this stuff. So I'm not as big of a fan of their packages as I used to be, because I think the PTO tracking is actually a very vital part of payroll. You could also do that though through time management system. So they have a contractor only one that is a special one if you don't have any employees at all, but you just are doing 1099s for your contractors that you have. So that's $0 a month plus $6 per contractor. And they handle all kinds of, the direct deposit payments and if they have the 1099s at the end of the year. This does not do backup withholding, as they say in here. So that could be a good solution if you have a whole bunch of contractors that work for you and you want them to handle effectively the 1099s, but they also do direct deposit, which is really nice. So let's look at some of the other companies to compare the services that are available here and see what may work for this 1 to 5 employee business. ADP, one of the big, huge ones, been around for many, many years. I do not want to have to enter my email. Will you make me enter the email to see the prices? So here's the thing. A lot of these big companies make you want to contact them to get a quote, but let's see if we can let's just do essential. Are you current? No. Number of employees? Let's just say 1. I have to do this. Okay. Okay. I have to give my name and phone number to get started. You know how much I dislike that. Oh my God. So they're going to actually call me. Okay, by the way, I'm not answering the phone. I do not want to be called about this. So they don't tell you the pricing, which for me is a deal breaker. I don't want to have to get it. Like I think it makes sense if you have 100 employees to actually get custom quotes because it really depends on your exact needs. But 1 employee, 5 employees, a package is the right thing. So I don't know. I won't tell you. I'm not going to answer the phone. All right. SurePayroll. So Paychecks is very similar to ADP. I would put them in the same category, but they have this thing called SurePayroll that I wanted to check out for y'all. And it seems like it might be more targeted towards small businesses. And then they include 401ks. And that's one of the things too, is like Gusto and a lot of these payroll providers, you can get a lot of employee benefits things through them all together, which I think is really helpful. So let's get up with 6 months free. I'm going to actually see if I can let me see if I go to their main website, if it'll tell me how much stuff costs. I just want to know what it costs and what's included. Menu, small business. Let's click on small business. Oh, it has to get my payroll quote. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So I'm going to do the thing as officer only S Corp. See if they'll give me a quote for that. By the way, that phone number just goes to voicemail. That's my business line that just goes to voicemail. So I can put in things and not have to answer the phone about it. Small business payroll. Okay, here we go. SurePayroll. So full service where they file the taxes for you. I agree that's what you need. You do not want to be filing the tax yourself because what is the point of even paying for it? $29.99 per month plus $5 per employee. That's very reasonable fees. As you saw, Gusto was $40 a month, so this is $30 a month. Gusto is $6 employee. This is $5 employee. All right, so we got 2-day direct deposit. They calculate all the payroll stuff, direct deposit. They file payroll taxes. If you have multi-state, it's more fee, which actually Gusto does that too now. I think you pay different fees for multiple states. Tax filings, they file that. Let's see. Okay. So in the same category of prices. All right, now let's go to OnPay. How do you pay your team now? I'm just going to say I haven't paid employees before. All right, OnPay I think they're copying Gusto's pricing. They're $40 plus $6 a person. We have 1 to 5 employees. What type of workers? I'm going to say hourly and also salary because I'm salaried, which is going to be true for a lot of businesses. Like our help with just payroll for now. Okay, is there a way? Let's try to see if I can go back to their main page. Pricing. All right, $40. I want to see what is included. Everything is included. Unlimited monthly pay runs, automatic tax payments and filing, blah, blah, blah. Let's see what you get. Unemployment insurance withholding, multi-state. Oh, so this is actually nice. So OnPay doesn't seem to be charging you like an extra for multi-state payroll. So if you have virtual employees who are in 5 different states, considering OnPay for something like that might be a good idea because you're not going to get charged all kinds of extra fees for all those different states. Now, I haven't used them personally, so I can't tell you if they're amazing. Let's look at this. No extra fees in more than 1 state. Available in all 50 states, obviously. That's important. Employee self-service. They integrate with all the very good things. I would assume that. And then they also have a bunch of HR stuff that's included. They also handle the PTO. And that was something in Gusto that is now extra, is doing the PTO stuff. OnPay is including that. And then all the typical things that I would assume. One thing I want to look at is who is this company, since I haven't used them before or done business with them. Oh my gosh, please stop popping up. So they actually have the name of the person who started the business, which I like. I like it when it tells you who the people actually are. So go in careers and see where they're located. Whatever. Let's look at their job openings. Okay. Corporate counsel. I'm kind of entertained by that. Corporate counsel Atlanta. So they're headquartered in Atlanta. So good. And they are trying to hire a corporate counsel, which I kind of enjoy as a lawyer. That's a lawyer job. OnPay. So now let's look at Wave. This is something that my understanding is that this might be the cheapest ones, but let's go ahead and look at it. Wave Accounting has a lot of inexpensive services for small business owners. So let's look at their pricing. Okay. Obviously, we don't just want invoicing or accounting, payments, payroll. Okay. Payroll is $40 a month. Oh, it's the same price. Everybody's copying Gusto, I think. Or maybe Gusto copied somebody else. I actually don't know for sure. That might just be the order I did it in. Okay, so tax service states, what is that? $40 monthly fees plus $6 per employee, $20. I'm going to see all the payroll features. Direct payments, portal, easy access, accuracy guaranteed. It doesn't like give me anything to click on to get more details. Now, one of the things is about Wave is that they have like accounting, bookkeeping, and invoicing stuff that is free. So if you're just starting out and you need all these different solutions, you need to be as cheap as possible and want it to be integrated, that could be a solution for you. Now, the other things also will integrate into Xero or QuickBooks or whatever system that you use, but you have to pay for Xero or QuickBooks. Actually, I'm not sure if Xero, you have to, but how much Xero is charging, and that's a review for another day. But that is something to think about, is what are all the different software things that you're going to need. That would be a good video for me to do in the future. I should add that in there. And this might be a way for you to have more things put together that are more seamless for you if you're going to be actually handling all the bookkeeping yourself in the beginning and the accounting yourself. I do not know if it also features, let's see if I can, this will give me more information. Direct deposits, workers' comp. So tax service states includes this list, which includes California, where I'm typically located. So the remaining other 36 states are self-serve, which means you have to pay and file the paperwork yourself. I don't know what that means. Why is it self-serve? Maybe they just think it's self-serve? I think they're not set up there. So that's one thing, is Wave only has 14 states where they're set up to handle the taxes for you. I don't think it makes sense to pay for someone to run this stuff for you if they're not filing the tax stuff, because the tax stuff is the stuff that's hard and burdensome and easy to mess up. So if it was me, I would rather pay a little bit more money for someone to handle that. But obviously, if you have an incredibly tiny budget, maybe that doesn't make sense. But we're talking about $20 a month. I think it's worth $20 a month for someone to handle tax filings. So if you're not in these 14 states, it probably makes sense to look somewhere else. So looking over the different options, at least of these 5 different ones, I think it all depends if you have multiple states and if you want to have PTO tracking. Gusto is still my general recommendation for a lot of people. I think it works really, really well. But if you have employees in many different states, if you have sophisticated PTO that you have to manage, it may not be the best solution for you, because you have to pay double the price to get those extra features. You have to pay that $80 instead of the $40, unless you need all the other $80 features too. You know what I mean? But I'm thinking that a lot of you don't. That's why you're watching this video. So, who knows what ADP ends up saying, because I'm not answering the phone and dealing with that. You can contact them if you want to find out what their details are. I think if you're going to be hiring someone in multiple states, if you really want to get the most features for the least amount of money, it seems like OnPay is really the best bet there. But I have not personally used them for payroll, so I can't give you a testimonial about them doing a good job. Well, obviously, I can tell you that Gusto has done a good job, and I've kept them over all these years, even though the price is actually going up for me soon. Again, this is attorney Elizabeth Potts-Weinstein. If you have any questions about what I talked about today, or any other suggestions for other payroll companies for me to review their features and their pricing, feel free to leave it in the comments below, and I'll try to point you in the right direction. Thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Subscribe for more videos like this. And if you want to connect further or have other questions, you can join the Discord or the Patreon. Links are below. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.